In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful.
The hardest thing for me was friends, partying, things of that nature. I came from a strong knit family, alhamdulillah. My family, when they first generation to this country, so everybody kind of always was together, spending time together and things of this nature. So I always spent a lot of time with all of my cousins, grew up with them, and we always spent a lot of time with them, and then the extended friends from there. But when I realized that I needed to change, I realized that I needed to change the atmosphere that I was in, and that included getting rid of the people that I was around. So I had to step away from friends and family who were a bad influence for me, and when I did that, and then my life began to change into a more positive direction. My family in the beginning weren't accepting at all. My parents, they weren't very religious. At that point, my mother had began looking for faith. So when I became Muslim, I also lacked wisdom. I came home and I was like, I have the truth and that's it. If you don't listen, you're gonna go to hell. I'm going to paradise. And I was on a rampage, and that kind of threw them off as well. So basically, I got kicked out of my home. I went to live with my father for a while. I burnt the bridge there, and then I had to move out of there. And it took some time to repair those relationships. Alhamdulillah, now, years later, everything is great. They're actually happy that I'm a Muslim. My father, one time, and I always tell the story, he was buying a hot dog at a hot dog truck stand, and the guy was praying. He was Muslim, so he was waiting for him to finish. When the guy finished, the guy said, I apologize, I was praying, I'm Muslim. He said, no, I understand, my son is Muslim as well. And he said, where are you from? He said, I'm from Puerto Rico. He said, your son's Muslim? He said, yeah. He said, what do you think about Islam? My father said, I can sleep at night now. So alhamdulillah, my parents have accepted it fully, alhamdulillah. A piece of advice that I would give to anybody seeking the truth is, 1, take your time. 2, have an open mind. It's hard to reach the truth when your mind is closed. You have to have an open mind when searching for the truth. The third thing that I would tell them is, look at the foundations, the fundamentals of the religions that you're looking into. Search and look at every religion and look at the fundamentals and see what that religion's core teaching is, who they worship, what they worship, and how they worship it. And when you see that, then you will come to see that there may be deficiencies in some of the religious teachings within those religions. For a person celebrating their first Ramadan, I would advise them to be patient. Don't lose hope. It's difficult in the beginning. I remember my first Ramadan, the day was going by. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I was starving. I went to the cookie jar and I'm looking at the cookies and I'm like, and I think by 3 o'clock I attacked the cookies and I began eating all the cookies. It was a difficult process, but alhamdulillah, we know that days can be made up. You take it step by step. You're new in the faith. Take it easy, inshallah ta'ala. Be sincere and Allah will make it easy. Also with Ramadan, with fasting, also at night with the prayer. The other advice I would give is, sometimes it may seem like, wow, this is a long time. They're standing up and praying for an hour, 2 hours. I also remember my first night of prayer at night. Isha, the last night prayer that we make, the 5th one, was finished, and then I got up to leave and I see everybody stand back up again to pray again. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is something else that goes on here. So I got up to pray and the Imam is reciting and reciting and reciting, and then they'll taslim out and then they'll stand back up to pray again and they're reciting and reciting. I think like 45 minutes went by and my feet were burning and hurting, and I was like, man, I hope this guy stops reciting the Quran already. I can't take it anymore. I even remember crying because I thought that if I left, I would be punished. So I stayed for the whole thing, going through the pain. So just remember, you're brand new. Take it easy. Inshallah, don't be hard on yourself. And inshallah, in time, it will become easier for you.